No.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? I would love to know, where is everybody from? I'm seeing that there's quite a few people hanging out, and I'd like to know, where are you all from? Can you guys just put it into the chat box right there? It should be pretty easy for you to all find. So let me know who's here. Jedigan from Germany. Awesome. So it's a nice time for you right now, right? What, it's about 8 p.m., I guess, right? Hi, Grace from California. Which part of California are you from, Grace? Oh, I love the Bay Area. Marin County is one of my favorite places. Okay, who else? Is there only 2 people in the room? If you guys are here, the more active you are, the more you will learn. And the fact that you guys are here, that means you want to learn. So whom else is here? Come on, guys, don't be shy. This is all about community and support and having fun together. I'd love to hear who else is in the room right now. Texas, woohoo! Which part of Texas? Austin, nice. I haven't been to Austin. I've been to Dallas and Fort Worth. And I think I've been to one other place. I definitely have been to one other place, and I can't remember right now. I really liked Fort Worth. Houston, I was not in Houston though. but yeah, I like to walk what was it? The bulls, right? Like when they have the, oh God, the cattle. Yes, that was really cool. Okay, well, I'm so happy you guys are all here. Thank you so much for taking your time out of today and joining us. I know there's a lot of really great presenters today, and there's a lot to learn. So the cool thing is that all of this is recorded so that you could go over everything on your own time as well. And that's probably the beauty of these presentations, right? So I am here to, the whole point of this presentation is obviously for you guys to hear what I have to say and who I am, and hopefully you'll really learn something. But the goal really is for me to be able to really hit upon some of your weaknesses, your challenges, your struggles. And the best way for me to do that is you asking me questions. So the more questions you ask, the more interaction we have. And a lot of the times the questions that you guys have, I can guarantee you probably 90% of the other people have and might not even have realized that they had that question. So don't be shy. Just go for it, right? Like that's the whole point. So I am Marina, the Trader Chick. That's me right here. And today I want to talk about, the goal here is that we forget about the basics. Sometimes we get so caught up in thinking like we have to do big things to make things move, and we completely overlook the actual things that make things move. So today I want to talk a little bit about day trading versus investing, busting a lot of myths that keep us, held back in day trading. What to trade. A lot of people don't even know what to trade. They just want to trade, but don't really understand the concept behind that there's many different things to trade. Lingo, day trading lingo, just like anything in this world that we want to do, there's a certain kind of a lingo for each thing that we want to learn to do, right? Brokers, commissions, platforms, market movements, indicators, technical analysis. I want to be covering the majority of this today, so you guys could really understand what's going on. So before we do, I want to just do a quick intro of who I am. And I am Marina, the Trader Chick, and that is me right there. I am an expat. I live in Antigua, Guatemala. I don't know if any of you guys know Antigua, Guatemala is. It is in Central America, and that's me with my 2 boys. Before I became a day trader, I was actually a fitness instructor. I was actually one of the very first fitness instructors to teach spinning and Pilates in Manhattan. I was a fitness instructor in Manhattan, and then I became a travel writer, and I actually still am. I still have a travel blog that I write, because travel for me is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And I write about it and inspire others to do so as well. So basically, the reason why I even bring this up is because so many people get caught up in the fact thinking that they have to have a certain background to be a day trader. Totally not true. Anybody can do it. And that's the beauty of day trading. Another cool fact is I speak 3 languages. I was actually I'm a Soviet Union refugee. And I arrived to the United States over 40 years ago. So Russian is my main language, or my mother tongue, I guess you could say, but English is really my main language. I was raised in the US, and now I have been living in Central America for the past 20 years, almost 20 years. Yeah. So I speak Spanish fluently. Obviously, we live now in Guatemala, but before that, we lived for 7 years in Costa Rica as well. And the main reason I bring this up is not to be like, oh, look how cool it is that I speak 3 languages. Mainly is because if anybody here who's sitting in the room has learned a new language in their later years, they understand that it's a process, right? It's a process that you go through and you commit to it, right? Because if you only do it half-assed, you don't get the results that you want, which is to be able to be a conversationalist at least, right? I'm not saying to write, novels, but at least to be able to converse properly. And when I was really struggling with my trading, and I struggled for quite some time, I think the fact that one day I woke up realizing that, wait, the market actually has its own language and it speaks to us directly. And when I realized that, I started to focus on it like I did when I was learning Spanish. I learned Spanish when I was almost 30. It started to open up new doors for me. And the simplicity of the language of the market is really what I want to talk about. It's possible for all of us to understand. And once we do understand it, it can really change the way you trade. And that will make it really everything up. So that's really the reason why I bring this up, because when you learn language when you're tiny, it's not the same as when you're older. And it's a process. And that's something that I want to be able to talk to you guys about. And the cool thing about day trading, you can do it from anywhere. Like I said earlier, like travel for me, it's not a luxury. Me and my family travel. Obviously we had COVID for a year and a half, but now we're back on track with the traveling. We travel 3 to 4 months out of the year, so I can't just stop life and not work, right? I mean, that's kind of fun, but to be honest with you, I get bored. The cool thing is with day trading, and I only use one chart, one monitor, 2 indicators, I could do it from anywhere in the world. And that's the coolest thing of all, right? And here's just a little bit of where I was featured on. I've been on the Money Show. I've been on Investors, Traders Expos. I don't know if anybody is in the room that have actually met with you guys live. I really love to present live when I can as well. So before we get into the heart of this presentation, I do have a worksheet that I created for you. I call it my cheat sheet. It is completely free and you can go over it. And you go here, makingofadaytrader.com, makingofadaytrader.com. Okay, you guys could get it right now for free and you could go over it. And if you don't get it, you could always email me at thetraderchick@gmail.com. But you should be able to have no problem getting it. Makingofadaytrader.com. I have a question here, I think, when you have this I think was for the person before me because it looks like it's about options, right? Okay, so again, guys, go here, makingofadaytrader.com, and let's begin. What in the world is day trading and why is it not investing? Okay, so many people who say to me, when I tell them that I'm a day trader, I want to learn how to invest. The reality is, and I tell this to people all the time, I trade to invest. I do not, it is not the same thing. Why? Why is it not the same thing? Unlike investing, day trading, you do not want to diversify. You do not want to diversify. It is like a music student, right? Who's studying music. You want to focus on one market. Imagine your child coming over to you and saying, hey, mama, I want to learn how to play a musical instrument. You're like, okay, awesome. What do you want to play? What do you want to learn? I want to learn how to play the violin, the flute, the piano, and the drums. And you look at them and you're like, but they're so different. I recommend you focus on one because you're not going to be able to learn any if you go to all of them. This is the problem with the majority of aspiring day traders. They want to learn everything. It's never going to happen. Focus on the one. Choose your one instrument, one. And we are going to talk exactly about the different instruments or markets that you could trade, but you cannot learn how to do Forex, options, crypto. It's ridiculous. It's driving 3 different vehicles on 3 different roads at the same time. It's not possible. So you got to find the one thing. Okay. And we'll get a little bit more into that. So Investors, they can have a huge portfolio. As a matter of fact, I have a super robust portfolio. I love my portfolio. It is super robust, but when I trade, I only trade the ES minis. I don't touch any other market to trade. That's it. Why? Because with investors, we are investing in the company. We want to see it grow. We are okay to see it go through ups and downs. Traders, we don't care if the market is tanking or if the market is going up. Why? Because we are 100% technical analysis and we are looking only what is happening in the moment. I do not care if Apple is coming out with iPhone 13 if I'm day trading Apple. It is not going to affect what is happening in this moment, correct? I only want to see what is happening now, and that is through technicals. That is what day trading is. And day traders make money going up or down. So if you're sitting here and thinking, well, I only buy, then you're not a day trader. So you also got to figure out what are you doing, okay? So ready to bust some of the myths of day trading because this holds back way too many people, and we need to get past these myths so that you can become successful. Too risky. We hear this all the time. Day trading is gambling. Right. Well, here's my question to you guys. If you get into a car you've never driven before, somehow accidentally manage to turn the ignition on and press on the gas and go and get on the Autobahn. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Autobahn in Germany where there is no speed limit. What are the chances of you guys not crashing and dying? Right? I mean, it is a known thing that before you hop on the Autobahn or anywhere, you have to learn how to drive the car. But because with financial markets, there is zero barrier to entry. Anybody could get in if they have any kind of amount of money. And of course, they're going to just throw money in because, you know, obviously everybody's making millions and millions of dollars without having any kind of idea of what to do, right? And they think they're going to do the same, which is a total lie. It's a total misconception. The reason why it's gambling is because idiots get in with money without having a clue what is going on. And then, of course, losing it all and then saying it's risky. No, you would never hop into a car and take it on the Autobahn if you don't have the proper idea of the skill of how to do it, correct? Same thing with day trading. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. You need to know what you're doing. It's understandable. You need $25,000 to get started. This is another huge myth, total lie, right? Maybe at one point it was like this way before, but I don't even think it was even then. Basically, you need $25,000 if you want to have a margin account and only for day trading stocks. Again, there are over 5 markets that you could trade. Crypto, you can start with 10 bucks. E-minis, you can start with $500. Micro minis, you can start with 50 bucks. You can start with many different variables of money and even day trading equities. As long as you do not want a margin account, you can start with any amount of money. I will talk a little bit more about margin accounts because what they really are loan sharking you. That is not any benefit at all to the trader. I will get into that in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to go back to this when I showed the fact that I was a fitness instructor before I became a day trader, because people believe they have this misconception they have to be a math whiz or have some sort of a financial background to become a day trader. And another lie, right? Totally not true. Anyone can do it as long as you want to do it and learn how to do it, not throw your money at the market. Another thing is it's too stressful and chaotic, right? We've seen all these movies, you know, what is it? Wall Street 1, Wall Street 2, and all these others. It's all a bunch of chaos and screaming and all this craziness going on. But on the contrary, interestingly enough, day trading has probably been the most meditative activity that I've ever participated in because it's so mindful. You have to be so right there in the moment, and it actually can bring you tranquility. Again, you need to know what you're doing. You can't just throw your money in and then start to pray and hope and get on your knees. That's not trading. That's being a fool. But that's not where we're going, right? We need to have that strategy and the plan, and then you could follow it because you've done all the work before you've entered that trade. There's a really good saying. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this book, The Art of War. And the author says, the warrior dies before he gets onto the battlefield. Why? Because they've done all the work before they get on the battlefield. Where is our battlefield? The battlefield is obviously, you know, the trading day, but the real battlefield is when you enter the trade. You have done your work. You have died before you enter that, or you have already lost or won, because by the time you get into that trade, you should not be stressed. Okay. The other thing is you need 100 different charts and screens and monitors. I don't know about you guys, but this makes me want to freak out and run away. First of all, it's completely unsustainable. Nobody can sustain this for a long period of time. This is not how you are going to be a consistently long-term trader. You can maybe last about a year at most, and I don't even believe that much, right? There's this really funny show that I don't know if any of you guys ever watched it. It's called King of Queens. It doesn't exist anymore. You can see the old reruns, obviously, but it's a really cute comedy sitcom. And there's this one episode where the main character buys a 96-inch screen TV and he puts it into his TV room. And he also, at this point, is when they had DirecTV. There's like 1,100 channels. So they're all him and his buddies are all sitting there and switching channels every like 10 seconds. And one of the guys is like, "Stop, you're going to trigger my epilepsy." So this is what's going to happen here if you sit in front of anything like this. And I know quite a lot of people that show that they do this. Again, go back to them in a year and they're probably not doing it anymore. It's not sustainable. Okay, this is a biggie. A biggie, a biggie, a biggie. It's that shiny syndrome, the shiny object syndrome, which I find so many people believe that this is how they're going to become professional day traders. They want to buy all the softwares, the indicators, the algorithms, the bots. Lies. Well, the only people making money from that are the people who are selling it to you. Remember that, because if you don't have any idea how to simply read the charts and use the universal free indicators, you're never going to make it. You can still drive and be completely fine driving from point A to point B in a regular car. You do not need that extra base or those funky rims, right? That's what this is. It's just shiny object syndrome. They do not work. Okay, so you do not need any of that. So save your money and put that money into education or whatever, but don't put it into any more of this crap. Okay, research and news. Look, we're day traders, right? We cannot be caught up on the telenovelas that are going on. What is telenovela? It's those soap operas, the melodramas that are going on daily, right? We hear this crap all the time. Basically, it's a bunch of experts that just want to hear themselves speak, who have their own personal agenda and happen to have a really big space of moving their agenda because they're on TV or wherever you are sitting and watching them. You don't need that. What you do need is technical analysis. And if you don't know what technical analysis is, then stop right now. And if your money is in the live market, get it out, because you are not trading properly. It's like getting into the car and not even understanding where the brake and the accelerator is. Okay, so that's really important. Market research, that's the other thing, right? It's a huge misconception. I cannot even tell you the amount of people that trade equities that wake up at 3 in the morning doing all this crazy market research. By the time the market opens, everything they thought they knew is the exact opposite, because it doesn't move like that. Then they're freaking out because they lost their money, and then from 5 till 8 p.m. they're sitting and doing more research only to have the same thing happen the following day. Don't do that. It's technical analysis. I'm going to go back to it over and over and over again. All right. This is a huge thing, and this is pretty much done by 99.99% of the traders, at least in the beginning. I've been there. I can guarantee that you guys have all been there. Trigger happiness. Have you guys heard of it? Because for some reason, this is such a misconception. People believe that they have to be in and out of thousands of trades all day long. Total lie. First of all, you'll be eaten up by commissions, correct? Secondly, no, you don't. You do not have to be in 100 trades. It will never happen. However, think of yourself as a hunter, as a big game hunter. And I'm not at all into hunting. I don't condone it, but it's the reality, right? Will a big game hunter go out and start shooting, any insect that moves, or even like a bunny? No, they're going to save their energy for the good ones, for the big game. Good traders will tell you that they probably only take between 1 to 3 trades per day, because the hardest part of trading is knowing when to stay out and being patient enough for staying out. Okay, so super important. And I always say the most radical way to trade is conservatively. Being a conservative trader is sustainable. Aggressively does not work. It never will work. So if you're hearing people being aggressive, they're only being aggressive to show you their wins. Ask them about their losses, because they usually are more than their wins. Okay, and I always say small profits daily bring you big profits yearly. If you can't make $25 a day, do you think you're going to make $1,000 a day? No, And that's another pipe dream that people have. I want to make $1,000 a day. Well, good luck, man. If you're not even making 20 bucks, chances are you're not going to make that 1,000. All right. So remember, big targets really look good on paper, but going for the smaller ones is the ones that are really going to be more profitable in the long run. Okay. And this is a big one. And I coined this term FOMAT, fear of missing a trade. We've all heard of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Let me get it to you guys straight. And this is probably one of the most common problems that all traders have is they always fear like they're going to miss out on a trade. So what do they start to do? They get into an emotional state of mind. They start to chase trades. They start to run after trades. When you're chasing a trade, you're emotional. You're going to end up losing. You never want to be emotional when you're trading. I know that sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but there is a way to not be emotional, and that's having a strategy that you could always fall back on, having your green lights, okay? So here's the deal, guys. This fear of missing a trade, I'm going to give you a little secret. There is always another trade coming. Remember that for life, and you will never have to chase another trade. Okay, now let's talk about what to trade. Remember, music student, they at least know the different instruments they've got going on. When you decide you want to trade, don't come to us say, okay, I want to learn how to trade. I want to do the equities, Forex, futures. You know, a good person, a good educator, if that's who you're speaking to, will immediately tell you, wait, you can't do all of them. It's not possible. And if they're telling you otherwise, then they're not successful either. They just want your money for a lie they're going to sell you. What? All right. So did you know that stocks only make up about 25% of the tradable markets? Because the majority of people think that they could do equities, which is cool. I have no problem with that. But again, we're going to get a little bit more into the equities. And it's actually not 25%, it's 20%. All right, so let's break it down. What are the markets that there are really in existence? Forex, we all heard of this, right? It's currencies, it's foreign exchange. But here's the thing, guys, even with Forex, you want to get even more into it. You want to have certain pairs. You don't want to do all Forex. When I hear people say Forex, I'm like, okay, normally they come to me if they're pros, they'll be like, okay, I trade this pair in Forex. I trade 2 types of pairs in Forex. That already, I know that they're already being somewhat successful, right? Because they've already really narrowed it down. Equities, here it is, guys. Equities is probably another one of those total misconceptions that you could just trade equities. Not at all. There are over 5,000 different equities to trade. Okay, so if you are going to go there, first decide, do you want to go big caps, small caps? Do you want to do penny stocks? By the way, penny stocks is probably the most manipulated, scammy thing out there, the OTC thing, that whole thing. But if you want to do it, stick to that. Don't go there and then also say you want to do others. It's not going to happen. They're so different that there's nothing even remotely the same about them. Then you could also do sectors, pharmaceuticals, tech, entertainment, right? You can't do entertainment and pharmaceuticals. They don't work the same. They don't run the same. They're seasonal. You can't watch both at the same time. They're 2 totally different strategies, okay? And I know quite a lot of really successful traders that only focus on one equity, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, and they do fantastic. And they're really, why do they do fantastic? Because they've really narrowed it down. They can really function and focus on what is happening in front of them. Okay, futures market, the commodities market, right? So I said to you earlier that I trade the ES mini, right? Which is the S&P 500 on the futures market. We also know futures markets, again, if people say, oh, I trade futures, well, what do you trade? Are you trading wheat? Are you trading indexes? Are you trading crude? Because you can't trade wheat and you can't trade S&P the same, right? It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So even within the futures, I recommend focusing on specific instruments, right? Whatever it is, NASDAQ, gold, wheat, sugar, whatever it is. But you got to, again, narrow it down. And options, right? Options is very different than the others. So if you want to really understand options, focus on options. And let's not forget crypto, guys. Crypto is a big one. It is emerging. It might not be as volatile. And when I say crypto, I am not saying Bitcoin. Because if you think Bitcoin is crypto, then again, you should not be touching crypto. Crypto has over 6,000 different projects. 6,000. Right? There are so many amazing altcoins. You don't even have to touch Bitcoin, right? And you can start with 10 bucks in crypto. So again, Decide what you want to do. And this will, I can guarantee you right now, will help you immensely. All right, let's do a little demystification of brokers and margin accounts. What are brokers? What do brokers do? Their job is your commissions. There is nothing else about a broker at all, right? What is the mission of a store selling pants? Them to sell you their pants. They do not care if you're never going to wear those pants ever again. If those pants are too small or too big on you, they don't care. Their mission is to get those pants out the door and take your money. Brokers do not care if you have any education. They don't, actually, the less education you have, the better for them. And they will keep pressuring you and selling you and telling you, when are you going to start trading? When are you going to start putting your money in the live market? You have to ignore that because their goal is not your success. Now, margin counts, and I've mentioned this before, loan sharking. I call this loan sharking. Why? Here is the deal, guys. Margin accounts, it's a lie. What it is they're telling you, we will lend you a certain amount of money. So if you want to buy whatever you want to buy and you don't have enough, here is the money we'll put up front for you. And you can use that. So if you lose, we don't care. Not only do we want to see our money back, but you're also going to be giving me interest on it. Don't fall prey to that. It all sounds nice. It's not. It's a lie. It's a way to get your money. So what you could do is tell your broker, I don't want a margin account. You don't need a margin account. It is not obligatory or mandatory at all. So you could tell them, I don't want margin, and they'll be cool with it, and they'll not give you margin, right? So that you don't ever have the opportunity of losing way more than you have in the first place, right? So remember that. All right, let's talk about commissions, live feeds, and quotes. So pretty much every single broker gives you commissions. Yes, equities, there's no commissions anymore. They make money otherwise, but they're still making money from you. So just don't be caught up in the fact, oh, there's no commissions, I could do it now. If you have zero education, it's like taking your car out on the Autobahn and just happen to not have other cars around you at the moment to crash into. Don't be fooled, okay? Know what you're doing, and if it's necessary to pay commissions, then do it. However, you could also choose the proper brokers. If you're a futures trader, go to the broker that specializes in futures. They will give you a much better commission rate. You have to understand that, right? Thinkorswim, for instance, is a fantastic equities program, right? It's a fantastic equity software. However, if you want to be futures, they charge you way higher commissions than a futures broker does. Okay, understand that. What is feed? You cannot be a day trader if you have delayed feed, right? What is feed? It is the gasoline in the car that makes it run right now. We don't want to get on the highway and 20 minutes later start moving, right? And just be stuck there. You need to have live feed and live quotes. Some brokers will give that to you for free. Just make sure it is real time, not delayed. And if not, pay. This is something that you need to pay for, but pay for just what you are trading. Don't pay for the entire freaking world, which is amazing that people do that. You are not going to be trading 30 different instruments. Why do you have to pay 30 different quotes? Okay, and people do that. Platforms. So the only thing a trader needs to really have is a platform. You cannot be an artist without a canvas. You cannot be a Formula One driver without a vehicle. You cannot be a day trader without a good, strong charting platform. So you better get one. And there are many really good ones, and they all offer amazing free universal indicators. So this should be your only cost, either a one-time lifetime fee or monthly, depends on how you want to do it, but make sure you do your homework before you get there. Let's talk about the trading lingo, because so many people have zero idea. When I talk to them, they're in the live market, their real money is on the line, and they don't even know what a stop limit is. You can't drive if you don't know. If I'm going to tell you, you got to put it into first gear and you don't even know what a gear is. You can't do that. It's the same thing here. Okay, guys, super important. So intraday trading. Pretty simple, man. You're in and out of all your positions in the same day. There's no other overthinking it. Oh, but I'm overnight, then you're a swing trader. You're not intraday trading anymore. Okay, oops. Bull market. What is that? Market is going up. That's it. It's just another term. All you have to know is that it's going up, trending up, whatever you want to call it. Bear market, market going down, market trending down. Pretty basic. Sideways trend, it's when it's flat. There is no momentum. There is nothing. This is also a place where I say it's the trader's worst enemy, because that's where all of our money usually gets lost, in the sideways trend. All right, now, again, day traders, you need to have a profit target. I don't want to hear you say, oh my God, I want my profit is here, but you know what? I saw the market going strong and I took my profit away and it turned on me and I lost all my money. You know what that means? It means you're greedy. It means that you don't have you don't have what it takes to be a day trader. You need to have a profit target. You need to have it, and you have it set the same as you would as your risk management. If you want to go further, then you got to split that profit target, but you got to get the first one out. Get your money out. Know that you're good. Put in your risk management at a break even. What is risk management? It is your stop in place. You do not move it. You do not put in a mental stop. You do not do anything else other than have the real thing there. Your ego will always win out. And your ego is the greed, and your ego is telling you that it's not going to be going in your, it's going to turn and go back in your direction. Meanwhile, your entire account is lost. Charts. I'm going to say this again. It's the holy grail for traders. If you don't have a chart, if you're sitting on your Robinhood, you're not a day trader. You are just a pretend. Okay. And I know I'm being a little bit harsh, but I'm not, because your money is on the line. And if you want to be a real trader, you need to do the real work. Okay. Indicators. Like I said, you could have thousands of indicators. 99% of them won't do you anything except for put you into analysis paralysis. I used to be there. I used to have 10 different indicators. Now I'm down to 2 indicators. I use EMA lines and MACDs, and that's it. So you got to find your indicators, and I only use one chart. Again, trending markets, right? We have market going up, market going down, and the sideways market. 1 second. Darwin. There's a cat outside my house, I think. Okay, so buy. Going long, guys. If you don't know what that means right here, right now, get out of the market, because this is as basic as it gets. What is buying? It means you're entering at a lower price point and you're exiting at a higher price point. You're going long and you're taking the profit in between. Selling, going short. What does that mean? Same thing, reverse. You're selling at a higher price point and you're buying at a low point. Doesn't matter what you want to call it here. The point is you're going short and you're taking the profit in between, because you're seeing that the technical analysis is telling you the market is heading lower and you want to cash in on that. Okay. Now, super important. If you are a day trader, you never, ever enter market, ever. Why? Because there's slippage. What does that mean? It means if you're putting in, just because you're, first of all, that means you're not prepared. You don't know where you really want the market to enter. You don't know where you really want to enter. You just go, okay, I'm going to go here. That means you don't have a plan, right? It means like, oh my God, so the market looks like it's strong there. I'm going to go there. First of all, 2 things happen. 1, it's stupid. You shouldn't be doing that. You should know exactly where you want to enter. 2 is when you do a market entry, it's called slippage, and you immediately lose a percentage. Sometimes it could be up to 25% of that particular money, right? Because market and brokers know that you are not obviously equipped to be a day trader, and they immediately, opportunistically take from you. So you need to always have a limit order. You need to have an order in place, knowing exactly where you are telling the market to enter. And that is called a limit order. Okay. And it goes the same for the stop limit. You do not want to just market exit. You want to have a stop in place. You're telling the market, this is as far as I'm letting you go. I do not want to risk any more. And it has to be physical. It cannot be mental, because mental is another lie you're going to tell yourself. Technical analysis. I brought this up 1,000 times, and I'm going to bring it up 1,000 times more, because if you don't know technical analysis, you are not trading. All right, guys, you need to have your technical analysis. That's indicators, areas, divergences, reversal patterns, understanding what's going on. I'm going to break it down for you. Areas. If you guys don't know what a resistance and support area is, don't be in the market, right? They are our safety nets. They are super important. Resistance areas, it is where the market is respecting and hitting 3 or 4 more times the ceiling of the market. Okay, you have to understand that. You have to know that. You have to draw it out. You cannot have a mental resistance in place. Mental nothing works in trading. Everything has to be drawn. Support area, it's where the market has hit over and over and over again on the floor. And a lot of times the market respects areas and revisits them. And if you don't know where it is and don't have it defined, you're going to be losing. Excuse me. Okay, so you have to have that in place. Okay, reversal patterns. What are reversal patterns? We've heard of these, right? Double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders. These are brilliant, beautiful signs that the market is telling us that there is a potential reversal coming up. And if you ignore it, you're going to be losing. So whenever I see any of this, I automatically, immediately stay out of the market entirely. Now, divergence. I live and breathe divergence. I personally use the MACDs. Everything is always from the price action. So there's nothing else that is going to work with anything else unless it's price action and something else. So what do? I use MACDs. If my price action is showing me that it's inclined going up, yet my MACDs is showing me that it's going down, that means that the market is losing energy. It's losing strength. Do I want to be in a market that's about to lose strength and has a potential of changing? Why would I want to give my money up like that? Definitely not. I'm sitting for those strong moves. That is confirmation for me. I do not want to be anywhere near those markets. So let's put this all together. Again, you guys could grab my PDF that I made for you completely free. Makingofadaytrader.com. Makingofadaytrader.com. Go here, get it right now, guys. Makingofadaytrader.com. All right, so let's put this all together. How does all this work? Pretty much, we all know one really important fact, that the most powerful trade that there is the breakout trade, right? It's called a breakout trade. However, if we don't have anything lined up, how do we know it's there? If I don't have my resistance or support, it could go either way, drawn out, I'm going to miss this breakout. I'm going to miss this whole move, right? So you have to have it completely organized and ready. Consolidation areas, which is sideways markets, which are drawn through resistance and support areas. This is how we see, is it going to continue going up? That means it's a breakout, or is it going to transition to an entirely new trade? So here is the way I look at my trades, right? I obviously have this huge resistance area that's been visited, revisited, and respected, but finally broke out. My MACDs is showing me there's a massive strength moving up, and I have my order waiting for me at my EMA line, which is one of my indicators. And this is how I use them. Okay, so remember, makingofadaytrader.com. I talk all about this in there as well, so you can really get a good feel for it. Now, I want to take a little bit of this and bring you guys into the real market, into the live market, to show you a little bit of how I put this all into play, right? So first of all, this is my chart. Again, I use one chart only. I do use the ES Mini. I am an ES Mini trader. I do not use a time frame. I use a tick chart. What does that mean for tick charts? It means that every single one of these right here, bars, these candlesticks, you see right here, it says 6 remaining, is showing me volatility in real time. It is 610 transactions per bar. So I am seeing how many people and how many transactions are happening in front of me at that moment in real time. It is amazing. And guess what? Because I have that in real time movement, I get to remove the volume indicator. One less thing to look at on my chart, right? Okay, so here it is. This is the day break. So I have this market right here. So this is how I begin. I start to draw things out. And right here, I had a very significant support area, and then I had a mini breakout. But as you can see, it was a fake out breakout. It didn't really go far, right? So I need to be prepared and understand what's going on. And then I have this head and shoulders. It's very obvious head and shoulders. Also show me, you know what? It's not going to continue. Boom, it continue here. So I will be now looking to enter going up, and all my MACDs are headed up. So this is how I use it. And then we have a pretty significant move up. But look here. We have a pretty significant divergence, right? Look at that. It's going up, but it's going down here. And what does it show me? Boom, it changed direction. It would have totally stopped me out. And we have this going on here, and we have this going on here. It's also showing me divergence. It's not going to last. And look what happened. It changed direction. And now I have another trade that I could enter right here. This is how I read the market. And look here, all of a sudden now I'm getting a pretty strong resistance area. And then I have this beautiful breakout and a beautiful breakout trade. It bounced off, did not go anywhere after this area because the market respects areas. It could either bounce off or head down. Bounced off, giving me that extra confirmation that it's going to continue. And then I could enter again here as a trade. So this is just a little bit of how I do it. This is my technical analysis. It's all right here in front of me all the time, talking to me loudly, clearly. It's beautiful. The market literally speaks to us and it has so much to say and it works with us. And us traders, what do? What is our job? To listen to the market. That's it, guys. That is our number one goal. Okay. So let's continue with the presentation. Now, we all have everything that we need to take action. Everything we need to take action, right? We have the YouTube videos, the books, these free summits, we have everything. But the reality is, how do you know you are doing it right? How do you know you're doing it right? Who is there to help you understand if you are doing it right? Like, all of this is great, but the real question is, how do I truly get started? How do I really get started? And this isn't only for beginners. This is also for seasoned traders who have been trading for ages, but still are losing money. I get asked all the time, what can I do to turn this around and be profitable and consistent? And a lot of times, lacking the full understanding of the basics can just be that simple. It's amazing. Those simplicity things of divergences, reversal patterns, resistance areas, just that can completely take your trading to the next level. I've seen it 1,000 times. But the reality is, we can jump into a car right now, but we know what's going on. It's so automatic for us. I am in this beautiful position where my oldest son is learning how to drive a car. And he sits down in the car and he's like, wait, mama, I don't know how do I do this? How do I do that? And you realize you learn all this. It's the basics. However, if you don't have the basics, if you don't know where the gear shift is, are you ever going to get it moving? If you don't know where your brake is, are you ever going to be able to stop? If you don't know where the horn is, are you ever going to be able to beep somebody if they're about to crash into you? No, those are the basics, right? If you don't know where your seatbelt is or what a seatbelt is, and we are not born knowing what a seatbelt is, you're not going to be able to put it on you and protect yourself, right? So my sad truth, guys, is I've spent over $20,000 on my own training. Yet after years of struggling and years of losing money, and literally I've lost over $4,000 in 5 minutes because I had my stupid mental stop in. I thought that the market was going to turn my way. And by the time it did, maybe it did, I was already stopped out entirely because my entire account was gone. And that happens many times, right? And after that, and this is like, I've had several times happen to me, I ended up quitting. I totally quit and I walked away. But the reality is, and I know that all of us who are sitting here, we are all bit by the trading bug. And the reality is also, it never stops itching. And you want to know why? Why is that? Because deep down inside, we all know we can do this. We can do this, and we can. We can. Once we decide and dedicate ourselves to doing it, we can. So what happened to me was I quit. I came back because I could not stay away after about 4 months, and I decided to get back to the basics, something that I actually never really learned. Every time I was in all these different chat rooms and all these different academies, whenever I was asking questions about basic stuff, oh, can you please explain divergence? Oh, can you please explain the sideways trend? I was being shoved aside as if I was born with this information or completely ignored because nobody wants to talk about the basics because it sounds too rudimentary, and it's not, right? I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Coach John Wooden. He is a legendary coach for basketball. He's deceased now, but he is probably one of the best there is. To this day, he is a legend, right? And his entire motto for training was, when in doubt, get back to the basics. This is literally him and his accolades. He's won 88 championships. I think it was 10 NCAAs, This man is amazing, and he worked with all of the top superstar basketball players. These guys were not amateurs. These guys were winning year after year after year. Yet, every time they started the new season training, he always went back to the basics, because guess what? I don't care if you know all these algorithms, Fibonacci's and this and that, but if your shoe is untied and you trip and you fall, or if you have a blister because your sock is on wrong, guess what you're doing? You're sitting out in the sidelines and just crying about, but I know how to dunk that ball. It doesn't matter if you don't have the basics down, and that's the reality. So the thing is here, guys, I have a super special offer for only the people that are sitting here with me today, participating live. It is my introductory course, the bootcamp for day trading. You could do it on any apparatus, on your iPhone, tablets, desktop, laptops. This is the next step. Either it's your first step or your next step. This is the step. Here's what you guys get in the course. You get all the prequel information about simplifying your day trading package, getting your platform set up. I have so many people that don't even know how to use their platform and are trading live and are losing because they don't know how to use it. 30 minutes in your entire platform. It does not matter which one you have up and ready. We work on that together. Dissecting uptrending marks, sideways, downwards, understanding reversals, understanding all these magic telltale signs, understanding and really using the reversal patterns, spotting your areas, market shifts, breakout masteries, understanding, spotting those breakouts. You cannot do it if you don't know what you're looking for and how to avoid those breakouts like we just saw today. There is a way to avoid it to save you money. And you get unlimited access to the curriculum, which is priceless. All of this for $1,600 value. Okay, so you guys get all of this, understanding, putting up your platforms, all of that is included. But I want to share something super important with you. Remember what I was saying, how do you know you're doing it right? So bonus for people here right now, I have a special bonus, $500 worth. I work with you one-on-one, unlimited one-on-one mentorship. One-on-one mentorship, I work with you unlimited. This is priceless, guys. This is priceless, okay? And on top of that, I have one extra bonus. You get 30 days free membership in my live trade chat room. It's just me. There are no moderators. There's nobody else. It's me. Everything we're learning in the course and one-on-one, it's live, implementing in the live market so that you guys see how it's done. And that is included. You get 30-day free membership. All of this valued at $2,600. But for you guys only today, and no hidden cost, $97. $97, and nobody else gets this. Go right here, right now. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Right here, right now. $97. Guys, that's not even a trade. I can guarantee you right now, I can put my entire house that you guys, when you trade, you put in more than $97. For $97, you're getting me one-on-one for 30 days, being in my live trade chat room for 30 days, and on top of that, an entire curriculum that you have access to forever and learning how to do it. $97. Go right here. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Right here. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Honestly, guys, there is no excuse. Oh, this looks too expensive. If you think that's too expensive, then stop trading right now, because you need money when you trade. And if anybody's going to tell you otherwise, it's a lie. So you either decide, do I really want to do this? Or you know what? I'm just going to blow my money. And if that's the case, I could send you some really good organizations in Guatemala that feed people that actually don't even have food. Okay. So think wisely. $97. $97. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. And don't take my word for it. Here are my student testimonials. I have students all over the world. All over the world. That's the beauty of day trading. All over the world, that you could do this and use this and trade anywhere in the world. Canada, US, Europe, Australia, Dubai, South America, Africa. It does not matter. Here are what some of my students have said. I just finished boot camp. The feedback of the homework is invaluable. I understood everything. Best money ever spent. This course is amazing. I am a non-techie, non-math, stay-at-home mom, and this I'm really catching on with zero experience. So guys, remember, join today. Normally this course is $297. You are getting 66% off the regular price, including all the bonuses. When people pay the full $297, they don't get the full bonuses. $97. Okay, come on. Honestly, what will we be doing after the training? Well, Emmanuel, we will work on that together, right? So I don't know what you're going to be doing after training. When you sit down with your math teacher or your driving teacher, do you ask them, well, what am I going to do after we finish learning how to drive? Right? So the chat room is included for the first 30 days. $97, guys. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Honestly, what else can you possibly do with $97 other than just throw it out in a trade that you probably don't even have a solid strategy for? All right, guys. So let me know if you have any other questions right here, Bootcamp for Day Trading. And I'm super excited to have you in my course. And again, 30 days. And I know that you guys will benefit just from that alone. And if you have any questions, this is your time to ask as well. And I'm here for you guys. Honestly, like, I really dedicate my time to work with you guys for this specifically. Okay. How many hours a day do I trade? I trade between 30 minutes to an hour because I am a scalper. That means I go in really hardcore for at most an hour, sometimes less, depends if I get my 1, 2, 3 trades. I normally don't go for more than that because the reality is, guys, every single trade you're going to take, a win or a loss, is energy that you use. Because of the energy, imagine your battery, your phone. If you're on a Zoom call on your phone, your battery goes fast, right? You know that you have to recharge it. So when we take many trades, we use up our battery and we go into a negative, we go into a deficit. What does that mean? It means you become emotional and you cannot function properly. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty much done within an hour. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. And that's the beauty of learning technical analysis. And it doesn't matter which instrument you're trading, right? Because it's all about the technical analysis. It's about the strategy that you have created. Okay, awesome. I'm super excited to work with you guys. Thank you, Emmanuel. He's already bought the course. Guys, $97. Honestly, you can't go wrong. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. I'll see you there. I'm always available to chat. You have unlimited one-on-one with me, and that is the truth. And thank you so very much, David and Anka, for having me here and for all the amazing people that have shown up. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here today. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I'm excited to work with you all.